and I'm so excited to be joined here today by Cristina Imre, who is calling in from Romania with Tech Leadership Lab. Cristina, welcome. So great to see you again.
So great to be here, Team Lockie. Yes, I'm calling from Romania for the entire world because Tech Leadership Lab, it is a movement that just took place from LinkedIn and is growing. And now it's a think tank, a full gear think tank that is growing for handling and tackling and solving and amplifying the voices that are solving all those issues from the 17 UN SDGs. And so we connected with him just talking about how we can collaborate because you are in this space as well from the NGO side and you have a very powerful, strong voice around what we can do to tackle also tech and how we can create a better world, basically.
Yeah, I love what you're up to so much, and the SDGs are near and dear to me. I feel like if we could just create more movement, just like you're saying, if we could utilize technology to create more movement around all of them, we would see such a huge shift. And so I as soon as I saw your name on LinkedIn, I like immediately scrambled to go connect and say, what are you up to? I want to hear more about it. And the more I heard, the more excited I got because it's so important what you're doing, and you're collecting global voices around this kind of endeavor. So this is not just US voices, this is all across the globe, people that are trying to make progress on these development goals with technology. Why did you start doing this?
This is a legacy mission that just entangled inside my life, and now it's a full-time mission that during my second half of my lifetime, let's say it's time to tackle for the future generation. I'm a long-term thinker. I live in the future, also in the present, but I connect the dots all the time. What is the direction we are going for? As a parent and someone who truly treasures and precious and loves humankind, I think about what will happen tomorrow. And this is very close to me. And so I prepared a long time to be able to understand first human nature because I didn't start it like I want to tackle the 17 SDGs in the world for sure. But I was very connected to the human nature because I saw we are unstable. We need so much in our life to do better because our potential is so huge. I saw the potential in every human that we can do better, but we have so many traumas. We are, a reflection of the way we grew up, our surrounding, and epigenetics, all everything. So I entered into a journey of a polymath, learning very multiple domains and also schooling myself and joining different businesses as a serial entrepreneur, co-founder, executive, fractional executive, consultant, coach, trainer, and so on. Also in the VC world to understand our world from an economic perspective, business-wise as an entrepreneur, and also from a human side. And during this discovery, I noticed what are the biggest threats for us and where I could contribute the most, maybe as a mediator, an amplifier of voices, and someone who does something actively to move the needle. And this is how Tech Leadership was born.
It's amazing. How old is Tech Leadership Labs? Like, when did you start it?
September 13th last year.
Last year. So just a couple of months old. Already you have hundreds of followers. You're doing events all over. You have a big event planned for March, what is it, 21st? Is that right?
Yes, 3 days
Hmm.
between March 19 and 21st. Yes.
Hmm. And that's a remote virtual event that anybody can go to, correct?
Yes, yes. And I
Great.
want to welcome, I already have two team members, family members here, is Driss from Morocco, and he's our community manager, and Daniel from Colombia. He is facing some issues now. There are wildfires in Colombia and next to Bogota. We just had an emergency meeting and created a squad last night to see and tackle the situation that seems now to be okay. But it's just like a connection between, how many things are happening around us in climate, especially because this is our first focus from the 17 SDGs.
Is
because of the
climate.
emergency. Yes,
Yep.
climate action and around everything around it. And also AI, because AI tackles everything, all the SDGs. Same with the climate. And we had a debate yesterday. We had an awesome guest. We had the first Fireside Chat edition on Zoom, because usually we are on audio or on streaming on LinkedIn and our channels. But yesterday we went on Zoom. We had David Dodd, an amazing guest. He's doing this for 18 years, and he is the president and the CEO of the International Sustainable Resilience Center. He is connected also with the UN. He's doing everything in his regards to just tackle these issues, and he puts a huge emphasis on adaptability, adaptation, and resilience, because this is something that we don't talk enough. It's just 7% of the funds go in that direction, when those should be 50%. I learned so much yesterday. And so after discussing this thing, we have this issue in Colombia. And so it was just like a linkage. We are doing the right thing. We are here for the right reasons. And this is what people can understand and feel from us, Tech Leadership Lab. And this is why the movement just took place. And now we are an action-oriented think tank who wants to tackle this. And we will have this huge event starting this year in March.
Yeah, I'm so intrigued by adaptability and funds going to that. Did he talk about the difference between adaptability and innovation? Are those the same when it comes to tech? What's did he make a distinction there? And what does that look like to use the funding in that direction? Clearly, I needed to have sat in on the call yesterday.
Yeah. We just put the replay on our YouTube channel, so you can see there. We discussed so many things. We don't have time to enter in the details. I welcome Tasha as well. And Carlos, he was our host yesterday. We are so united as a team, and especially the core team. And our broader team is going stronger with people from around the world with powerful, strong voices that want to tackle this. The way I would see the connection, because I learned a lot about the, let's say, misguided understanding about resilience, why it's important that carbon capture, carbon emissions to zero, everything is very, very important and needs to go on in a faster pace. But in the meantime, we don't do almost anything for resilience, and the funds in that regard are just too low, and they will grow incrementally. And how we can connect with innovation is because resiliency, what is that? And adaptation. You will have a huge migration of climate refugees, up to 1 billion. I pause just to think about it. And this will disrupt everything, even if you don't take anything in consideration, like wars and other kind of threats that can happen. So we need to understand what is coming. And you can have the climate fixed, let's say, but what are you doing with adapting cultures, ethnicities to different countries, to lands, to just start all over? Because things are happening. Islands are disappearing in the next years, including Maldives, and other shores are just disappearing. And these are threatening conditions, but we can do it. We need to consider this as with an optimistic lens, and innovation, and including AI, and I'm talking specifically generative AI, because this is the game changer, and it will go on because it can imply everything. You can find solutions to adapt things that humans cannot see right now, but AI can, and put together that collective data around the world to find even easier and quicker solutions, because they exist. We don't know. That's why we want in Tech Leadership Lab to connect the voices, amplify the voices, and solve those issues sooner than later. But also, we rely on all the discoveries this year only will occur, many, about how we can connect technologies and what we know already about what's happening in order to solve what's very urgent today.
It's such a good point. And Carlos, thanks for highlighting this. What happens with 1 billion people on the move? Like, where does that go? And when I think about the social engineering behind that, I live in a very small town, landlocked in the middle of the United States, right? Not anywhere near any coastlines or anything like that. And I already get a taste. This is the town I was born in. I left, I came back. And the people that live here are not exactly welcoming to new people that are coming. And the irony is that they just got here, right? And so when I think about what does it mean to create generative AI that is looking at ways that we structure that adaptability, that's really important. And then there's a really simple thing that every human has got to get their head around, which is to learn to be welcoming. And there is no technology needed for that. We can use actual intelligence. We don't need anything artificial to know that if we don't welcome people, they're not going to feel welcome. And when humans don't feel welcome, our base code is belonging. When we don't feel welcome, we respond in very predictable, not like non-positive emotional ways, right? There's so much conflict that comes from just the act of not welcoming people. It's a simple thing. So I know that there's important, very important structural technology pieces that we've got to figure out. And then there are some really simple things we've got to just start getting our heads around now, which is welcoming people because they don't have another place to go.
Yes, and I actually live in a very welcoming country. People don't know too much, but Romania was a lead, including with Ukrainian refugees from all over the world, from Africa, you name it. They felt welcome here and not threatened. It's a very safe country, and this is not the invitation that everyone comes here to Romania, because this would disrupt the country and any country they would go for. But I would say that here, especially, I'm at the border. I'm in Timișoara, where the revolution started. We are next to two borders. We have such a cosmopolitan city, open to all ethnicities that were living side by side for many decades, over 100 years. And so we have this kind of mentality, and I think we can cultivate it. But I just saw a very interesting documentary. I'm not good with names. It was an astronaut who is on a mission also to find solutions for climate, and he said, every time when I was just going into the space and I was seeing the earth from above,
Oh,
it's
wow.
such a connector for me. I think that is the best message to start. And he said, every kind of meeting I start, it's with the picture of the earth, and the first picture from NASA, for example. And then now with the how you call the name that now we can scan the earth all the time and just see it in real time when the new pictures appeared. And he said, this is an enabler to see that we are in this together as a species, and we are just so small, but we are the same. And if we are united and together, we can solve things better. And it's just such a positive vibe and emotion that I like to tackle on and unite with.
I love that. And it's interesting, vision is visual, right? Like we talk about leadership vision and we forget that vision is visual. And so just the visualization, the idea that of a person seeing the whole world all at once. Also, by the way, like going around the whole thing in 90 minutes just blows my mind. But anyway, just the fact that you can see it, I think that is actually so critical to just understanding and getting a larger perspective. Danielle, thank you so much, by the way, for all of these comments that are coming. They're so large, I can't put them up, and I want to. They're amazing, though. Thank you so much for chiming in on these thoughts around climate. Really helpful, really important and poignant. So yeah, I like what you're talking about. It's so important for us to just think about what's the image, what's the large picture, what's the bigger picture. And when I say we should be welcoming, I'm not talking about policy. Of course, we have to have policies around this. Not everybody is going to be involved in the policy actions, but everybody can be involved in other actions. And I feel like we get so bogged down in some of these larger discussions that we forget we're humans, and we're not always able to access the bigger, huge pieces. That doesn't mean that we're stuck without being able to do anything. And I think that's what I find when I'm working in the human stack in technology as well. What are the small things we can do from our desk today? Not huge, but all of those little things start to add up. They start to aggregate. And those are the pieces that, just like you, we're looking for. And, this is one of 17 goals. So it just is eye-opening to see how many people are rallying around this and what it can look like for the future.
And without climate, we had a comprehensive debate why climate connects with all the 17 SDGs, and the same with technology, especially now AI. So that's key, and information is key, and getting closer to the truth. Because if it's just about climate, people need to know that this is real and that it's urgent.
Yep.
That's the key today, because they received so much misinformation and
Mhm.
they just don't know, they lost trust, and we need to regain trust, and we can do that at a personal level. And this exactly is the vibe we are cultivating inside Tech Leadership Lab. You see, the team is here, Daniel is here, Carlos is here, they are amazing, and Driss is here, and people who are connected with TLL like Tasha. And I would love to see more comments, because I'm sure that they will watch it here, because it was not announced, it's just a spontaneous thing. And this just shows the unity, and through unity, you can have an exponential growth. Tech Leadership Lab is going through an exponential growth. We don't have enough time to onboard the right people. We would just want to interview for volunteering jobs, or just to be part of our group, because we don't open the gates to everyone. We cultivate the human aspects. You need to have the right character, because we
Yep.
are hungry to solve things today. We are action takers. We are so speedy. I mean, Daniel, Driss here, Carlos, they are so speedy people. I mean, I was amazed. I thought I'm the only one. Joking. But I saw that no, we have a real competition now inside about what we can do more quicker to do things. That's why we had that symbiosis with David Dodd yesterday, who is already now our advisor and for climate and resilience and adaptation, and he will join us every time we can to just amplify our voices together, and that is absolutely crucial. And I believe that people, if they see leadership like ours, a positive but action-oriented leadership to solve those SDGs sooner, they won't go in anxiety, because I know you, team, you are about anxiety, about trauma, how we can reduce the trauma around AI and tech in human beings, because otherwise we shut them down. If you're too scared about what will happen, you won't do a thing. You will just stay in your corner and you will just wait for the inevitable. That inevitable didn't happen, and we have solutions, but we need to act. And it's nice to act together, because you create that kind of culture of community, of friendships, that you are on a mission, like in a gaming, in a game, and you have the levels, and we are level 3, and okay, we go level 4, and you can make this be joyful and pleasurable. And to increase that kind of happiness level, I would truly enjoy for myself and the kids who are coming after us, basically.
I love that. And we're going to end on that amazing note there. That is so great. We are an action oriented thought leadership think tank. I love that. That's so important. It's been so great to join you on this little side quest this morning. Thank you so much for all that you're doing in the community. Thank you, everybody who joined. Thanks for all your comments. We're so excited to see a lot of all of the excitement, all of the background, the people that are saying this is important. We need to do something. It's really, really amazing to see. Thank you so much for starting this movement. It's so needed and so important. So thanks for joining me today. Everybody, thanks for tuning in for it. Watch the replay so you can see what people are talking about. And go watch yesterday's Fireside Chat on Tech Leadership Labs, where David was talking about these issues, what this looks like, adaptability. Go learn more. This is what's coming, and we're really excited to be part of it.
Thank you for having me here today, Tim.
Thank you for joining me.